A traditional Native American potlatch is a celebration of a major event or life transition. Welcome to our potlatch celebration. Tonight we are celebrating 7 years of philanthropy and nearly $30 million in community reinvestment. Cheryl Kennedy, our tribal chairperson, tells the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde story.
During the 1850s was the treaty era for the United States government. In that treaty process, the tribes ceded vast acres of land and agreed to peaceably assemble what was formerly known as the Coast Reservation, and then a move here to the Grand Ronde area. There was a plan that was drafted somewhat during the latter years of President Truman and was carried out in the presidency of Dwight Eisenhower. And that included terminating tribes from their status as federally recognized tribes and mainstreaming them into society. So what it meant for the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde was that in 1954, the Western Oregon Termination Act was signed. In it, all of the members of the tribe were no longer known as a member of a tribe. The tribal government itself was extinguished, and all of the lands were removed except for our cemetery land base. The termination area lasted for 29 years, and during that time there were some successes, but it seemed that there were more tragedies during that time for our tribal families. Our cemetery was actually the focal point for reuniting our members, and year after year our members returned to the Grand Ronde here to the cemetery to remember our ancestors. The 1983 restoration was a very joyous time for the members. In those efforts, we then set our tribal government up. We passed our constitution. We elected our tribal council. We sought to secure a land base so that we could have our homes, so that we could pursue self-determination and establish ourselves economically, and to provide for our health and educational needs of our members. One of the values that the Grand Ronde people hold dear to them is the generosity of spirit and the sharing of ourselves and of our assets. We recognize that we are here all together and that our generosity is part of who we are. And we have created a fund that enables other communities, organizations, and groups to further their dream as well. And we are very proud to have set up our community fund that enables these organizations and groups to move towards their dream just as we are.
After restoration, our tribal council began searching for economic development opportunities to enrich benefits to our members and neighbors. In 1998, the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act was passed, allowing tribes to open casinos as economic development ventures. Spirit Mountain Casino opened its doors in October 1995 and quickly became the state's #1 tourist attraction. Spirit Mountain Community Fund was created during negotiations between the governor and the tribe. Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde believes in giving back and agreed to create a tribally regulated philanthropy by donating 6% of our net proceeds each year to the fund. Since that time, we have awarded over 700 grants totaling nearly $30 million. Nonprofit agencies and citizens in our 11-county area have benefited from our tribal values of giving back and nurturing self-sufficiency within our communities. Spirit Mountain Community Fund Board of Trustees Chairperson Chris Olson tells the Spirit Mountain Community Fund story.
I've been on the Spirit Mountain Community Fund since its inception in the late 90s, and the one thing that I remember so vividly was the first time that we got together as a board and with the tribal council members there, and the spirit of goodwill and generosity that was in that room was remarkable. The one thing that I think people don't remember is that this is something that the tribe suggested. This was not something imposed by the state as a quid pro quo for gaming. This was something the tribe came forward and said, we want to give back to the community. It's a way of sharing for us that is in keeping with a long-standing tradition. And that spirit was evident in that room at that first meeting. I so remember Catherine Harrison, who was the tribal council representative at the time, talking about all of the ways in which the community had supported them during the dark years when they were terminated. And that was the tribe's chance to give back. So there's very much a sense of interconnectedness. This is not a matter of just trying to take care of our own. It's a matter of feeling part of the whole.
Our $5 million annual budget makes Spirit Mountain Community Fund one of the top 10 philanthropies in Oregon. The Grand Ronde Tribe is proud of being leaders in all we do. Whether it is our casino, our philanthropy, or one of our tribal programs, we strive to be our best.
The Boys and Girls Club of Salem, Marion and Polk counties, has been in existence since 1970, and we're a guidance organization that really focuses on providing services for disadvantaged kids. Part of our uniqueness is that we don't depend upon the kids' membership fees to generate our revenue. And this is where organizations such as the Spirit Mountain Community Fund really help advocate for kids that otherwise wouldn't have anything positive to do after school. Now, we've been around since 1970, and while we've had many quality programs for kids, we realized during our strategic planning process in the late 90s that while we were serving younger kids in a very high quality fashion, we needed to do a better job in terms of serving teenagers. And that's where the Community Fund stepped forward and helped provide the support for a beautiful 10,000 square foot addition, the Doris J. Whipper Teen Center. Since its inception, we've doubled the amount of teens that we serve on a daily basis, and just quite simply are keeping more and more kids basically on track and academically engaged, helping them develop social skills, and essentially helping them become productive members of our community. And we would just like to congratulate the Community Fund for that milestone of $30 million of support in the community, and specifically on behalf of the members of the Boys and Girls Club, say thank you very much.
The Salem Senior Center opened its doors in 1976. We have over 100 programs to assist the seniors in our area. We also serve at least 150 meals each day at our center. The ovens that we have are 30 years old. They were installed when we opened the center. This grant is going to allow us to purchase 2 new ovens. This will provide a much needed resource for our people that work in the kitchen. The equipment should be here by December, and we're going to have the day of celebration and thank the Spirit Mountain Community Fund for their contribution to our senior center.
My name is Laura Ciordia. I'm the director for the Cipriano Ferrer Education Center in Woodburn. We're part of Farm Workers Housing Development Corporation. We're not only building housing for farm workers, we also building leadership and community organizing, a sense of community organizing. So having the center here, it makes a huge difference in the life of the farm workers. We were very fortunate to have Spirit Mountain be the first one to give us money. That was, they pitched in for the capital campaign of the center. Therefore, other foundations started pitching in. We have grants from everywhere in big foundations, thanks to Spirit Mountain.
I'm Robin Puccetti. I'm the library director here at the Independence Public Library. We opened in this facility in the fall of 2003 after almost 70 years at our old facility that's right down the street. We were the most undersized library in the state of Oregon, serving a population of our size. The Friends of the Library put together a grant application to Spirit Mountain, as well as to a variety of other foundations within the state. And Spirit Mountain was really the first foundation that came back to us and said, yes, we would be happy to fund your project. This building provides almost 5 times as much space as our old library. It gave us much needed room for both library programs and library materials. There are a lot of really exciting and good things happening in Independence right now, and the new library, which was supported by Spirit Mountain, was really part of the beginning.
So I'm Monica Beamer, and I'm the Executive Director at Sisters of the Road Cafe. And Sisters of the Road Cafe is a 26-year-old nonprofit cafe located in Old Town, Chinatown in Portland, Oregon. And we serve hot, nutritious meals to people who are experiencing homelessness. We also serve community and dignity to people who often have a hard time finding that. 40% of our meals are served in exchange for barter work, and it's a great program where people just feel good about being a part of their day-to-day solutions and being a part of serving meals to other folks. The barter meal program is supported by Spirit Mountain Community Fund. We couldn't operate that program without their support. The fund has been a supporter of ours for several years, and we feel like we also engage in community with them. They are very supportive, very engaged with us. It's a great program. We are so grateful to be in partnership with.
Hi, I'm Tony Vecchio. I'm the director of the Oregon Zoo and a good friend of all the folks down at Spirit Mountain Community Fund. Spirit Mountain truly have been great friends to the zoo. Spirit Mountain was the lead gift on this wonderful eagle salmon exhibit, the only one of its kind in the world, that has been enjoyed by the 1.3 million visitors to our zoo. The zoo's mission is a very complex mission. We're into conservation, education, as well as being a recreational resource for our community. Great thing about Spirit Mountain Community Fund is they've supported all of those areas of our mission. Spirit Mountain led the way with a big gift to our California condor recovery effort, which we're very proud of. And also in the area of education, Spirit Mountain supports some of our programs that go out to schools. There are many kids that don't get an opportunity to come to the zoo. We're able to bring the zoo to them through the generosity that Spirit Mountain has shown us. So we love Spirit Mountain. They've been great to us, and we really appreciate the relationship we have with them.
What are Spirit Mountain Community Fund's future plans? We will continue making community investments in our categories of giving. We pride ourselves in being a neighborhood foundation supporting the good works of nonprofits helping individuals and families achieve self-sufficiency. We also plan to begin some new programs. We value partnerships and will look for creative partnerships with other foundations on projects that address meaningful social issues. Striving for individual and community self-sufficiency, we will look to invest in systems change initiatives in health, education, and environmental issues. Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde has a proud history of creating self-sufficiency. We value strength and self-sufficiency for our sovereign government, our people, and our neighboring communities. Thank you for the contributions you make to nurturing self-sufficiency. Together, we can shape a positive tomorrow for children and families.